This message is a little different than normal. So you knew the conspiracies, and maybe you, even like myself, saw Epstein's list years ago, and you wanted to warn people and say, hey, this is happening. Maybe you even did. Maybe you were even shut down. Maybe you tried to spread the word, saying, we need to stop these evil people, but you were ignored. And now it's all coming out, and now this is becoming mainstream. And I know that you're listening to this because you are a spiritual being, and so I'm going to tell you the truth concerning this and concerning what's actually going on in our world. So first of all, the darkness needs to be exposed because you can't do anything if there is no awareness that is surrounding it. So there needed to be some kind of illumination to what it is that is actually occurring here on the earth and the evil that has woven its way into the system. Now, what do we do now that this has all come out, right? We could be outraged and we could feel all these feelings and think all these things. And I have to tell you, this is the way. This is what we have to do now at this point. It's a must. It's not even an option. The inner turmoil that this causes within you when you hear about these things is an energy frequency. It is as if you have a guitar and you are playing a certain frequency, or you're plucking that same chord. When you feel it, when you hear it, when you think about it, you are playing that vibration of that thing. And so when you hear this and it really is upsetting, which of course it's naturally upsetting, and every single one of us has to go through this process of hearing the truth, having this awakening, having this illumination, and then feeling a certain way about it. Now, what happens now is that it's exposed, it's done. They can do nothing about this. This is why I haven't invested myself in this for the last several years, because I knew what I needed to know, found out the truth, and thought, nope, it's taken care of. It's all taken care of, and we just need to wait. And I need to give it not one more second of my focus, energy, and attention. And I know that maybe you're feeling that way too, right? When you first got into it, you were diving deep, you were looking at everything, you spent hours and days and weeks and months, maybe even years investigating this, finding the truth, uncovering things, and then at some point you thought, I can't do this anymore. I can't look at this stuff anymore. I know it's true, but I just can't, because your consciousness was overloaded with that frequency, that low vibrational frequency, like you're playing that same chord over and over and over and over. And eventually, because that chord ain't you, man, that's not you at all, it began to make you feel sick. And you would think about this and you're like, ugh, my system literally energetically can't handle it anymore. So you know the truth, but guess what? There are millions, if not billions, of people who are just stepping into this right now, who are literally finding out for the first time this list and all of the evil corruption that has been going on. And so it's natural. What did you do when you found this out? You began to investigate. You dug deeper. So this is what is going to occur. Now I have to tell you the detriment of what's gonna happen here. You guys know that the collective consciousness, this is like the 100th monkey, that there is a tipping point. But this was necessary. This needs to happen. What I'm going to tell you might be concerning, might be shocking, but I want you guys to just take this in with love and joy and happiness, and knowing it had to happen, right? If you don't know what is going on, then there is nothing that can be done about it, and absolutely nothing is going to change. However, when something gets exposed, let's say that this is the inner work that you're doing. When you find something, when you gain an awareness about it, now something can truly be done about it. And so what has happened is the world is waking up now. They're waking up right now. And as they're waking up, it's hard to wake up. Think of yourself waking up in the morning, man. Maybe you're a morning person. Sweet, I hope you are. But if you're not and you wake up, it takes a little bit, right? You might wake up and you're not in a good mood. You might wake up and it just takes a bit to orient yourself. This is what is happening. But I want you to think about this on a collective consciousness scale and the 100th monkey and what's really occurring. So this is all by design, right? This is all by design. And I'm going to tell you what we need to do. And I'm going to tell you right this second, we need to stop feeding them the food that they're made of. So when this comes out and people are so upset and they think, this evil, I hate these people, I want to kill them. And they have this, natural, honestly, reaction, natural human reaction to what has occurred here, what is going on, what we are doing. And they know this. This is why we can't do this. We have to counteract this. And especially now, right, there was few of us that knew. So there was a little wave of essentially this same guitar string, the same frequency being played out. Well, I want you to see it's been amplified now, but we intentionally did that. We wanted everyone to wake up, and look, it's happening. It's happening. Several years ago, we all thought everyone needs to know about this. Everyone needs to know about this. I want you to see how powerful your consciousness is, because now everybody's waking up and everybody's knowing about this. This is mainstream, and we knew, hey, don't watch the news. They're lying to you. All these things are going on. Well, now these people who weren't listening before, where they get their news source, their news is now telling them what we were telling them. So here's what needs to happen. We were the first wave. We knew about this. And so as we woke up, we went through all the natural reactions, and now we are sitting in a place of seeing how powerful our consciousness and those essentially frequencies and waves actually are, because what we wanted has happened. It has been happening, like through the invisible web that is weaving through the universe. It's happening. So our intent of everyone needs to wake up and know about this. And really, we put words, we put actions, we put momentum into this, and it has now occurred. It has now happened. And so what we must do right now is look away from it. Those who are going to deal with these people are already dealing with those people. This is their life contract. This is what they came here to do. And what we came here to do is to cause the upliftment of the planet, and part of that upliftment was exposing actual truths, because you can't bypass. And had we just all elevated to this next level, but we bypassed, we would have left these sacred souls behind that were here to teach us and for us to learn more things. And so what needs to happen right now is total and complete forgiveness. And I know you don't want to do it. I've had many conversations with people before that are like, no, we need to kill these people. We need to end them. This is what needs to happen. And it is not. My friends, I'm telling you right now, that is not what needs to happen. What we need to do is we need to forgive them, because otherwise we are playing that same guitar string that we were playing before, and that is what's coming back to us. That's what's permeating the consciousness of the world, and it's causing creation to occur. And what we need to do is create a world of love. This is heaven. But it can go either way depending on your beliefs. And so many people who wake up, they think, honestly, we're living in hell. How can all of these evil, horrible things be occurring here on this planet? And as they go through their process of awakening, of discovering what's truly been happening around them that they were totally unaware of, they then have a choice. First of all, it is natural, and every person is going to go through the reaction of hearing a travesty like has been occurring on the earth. And then the next step is, well, what do we do about it? Because people are sitting at home and they're watching this occur and they're thinking, well, is this still happening right now? What can we do? What can we do? And so it is showing the heart of the world. It is showing the heart of the planet, right? Every single person sitting in their house, every single human that is sitting in their house knows that this is a vile, disgusting thing. Every actual human, this is putrid. It actually makes you want to puke. It makes you want to puke when you hear about it. Why? What is this showing us? This is showing us the heart of humanity, that humanity at its deepest core knows how evil and vile and disgusting and wrong that this actually is. So this is the first step. This is actually a beautiful step of showing people, okay, maybe before you had some evil thoughts in your mind, but now that you're exposed to this true evil, you want to do good and you want to be even better than you were before. It makes you think differently about yourself and about the world that you're living in. And then now you have a choice, and you must choose to uplift and to begin to play a new string on that guitar. And this is the string of forgiveness and love, because there's nothing to forgive. And you might be pissed off at that. You might even end listening to this right now, but there's actually nothing to forgive. But we do have to forgive, but there's nothing to forgive, because this has occurred for the world to wake up out of its sleepy dream state. And it has occurred for the betterment of humanity. And those people who are victim, they said, okay, you know what? I want to do a huge thing. I agree. I will come back and I will be a victim. I will sacrifice my life for the betterment of humanity. And the reason why they chose to do this is because we're all one, man. We're all a harmonious unity consciousness, but we have forgot and we believe and perceive that there is separation. And because of this perceived separation, people will do things to others and not understand why they're doing it. But this was pre-programmed, this was predestined, this was predetermined, this was meant to be this way, to cause an awakening. And I could compare this to my own life story of every travesty that I went through led to betterment. And so know that that is what is occurring here through the invisible threads that we cannot see, but will come to fruition here in the very near future. Just like this has come to fruition. And a few years ago, we thought we were so desperate. Oh, how are they going to find out? We need people to know so we can stop it. And it's happened. It's happened. So look how powerful your consciousness is. So what we need to do now, what we must do, we're choosing, we have to. There's not an option. Is to send loving consciousness, like Christ, like Muhammad, like every spiritual master, send loving consciousness to every single being on this earth. Because let's say that you and me get in an argument, and I'm yelling at you. Well, what are you going to do? You're going to yell at me, right? You're going to give me back the same frequency, the same energy that I'm giving you. And so if we do this to these evil and vile people, they're going to keep giving us back the poison that they are made of. They're going to give us back that low negative hell frequency because it feels like hell, right? If you were to look at the world and what has occurred, especially to some of these people who have been victim in this whole smorgasbord of stuff, for them, life is hell. And so as we begin to heal, we are then healing the frequency. We're healing the actual mother, the actual earth. As we begin to heal and as we begin to forgive and as we begin to send only loving consciousness into the planet and to others, even those who have caused the most harmful effects on this earth, as we begin to send them love, the actual entire consciousness of the planet will be elevated. Why would we want to do this? Why? And you might think, why would we want to forgive? Why? Why? They've done these horrible things. They need to be out of this planet. I have to tell you that everything works together for the good of mankind. So if there had to be some type of tragic, horrid event that occurred, but then led to this massive spiritual awakening and upliftment and enlightenment on the whole planet, would it not have been worth it? And would you not view those people who had gone through that in a totally different light rather than viewing them as, oh, this poor victim? No, we would be sending them this energy of thank you so much. Thank you for your life. Thank you for your sacrifice. Thank you for doing this for me. And notice the difference in the energy and the difference in the frequency between those two things. One is a lowly state that is through electromagnetism going to go out, going to create, and going to bring you back the exact same thing again. And one is an upliftment of the actual consciousness here on this planet. Of thank you for what you've done. Think how nice and light that energy frequency is. And when we send that out, we are blessing all of these people who have done this for us. They did it for us. They have done it for us. And so if you think of this, and I'm not just talking about the victims, if you think about the people who were, in fact, the perpetrators, if you could look back and let's say we go forward a couple years and we go forward and the whole planet is going through this massive awakening and enlightenment and we understand, oh, we're creating heaven here on earth. Oh, we get it. We understand. Then even those perceivably evil souls, evil beings, evil people, would we not also view them then in a different light of like, man, I know you did this really evil thing, but honestly, I'm so thankful that you did because everyone was sleeping. They were all silently dreaming in their dream state and in their disillusionment of what they believed was actually happening in the world around them. But because of that perceivable evil, everybody woke up. And so wouldn't you look at these people as like, oh, wow, thank you. Had you not done that, we would all still be sleeping. And so basically what must occur, and you can choose, but it's a must if you want to evolve spiritually. You must, number one, forgiveness. Forgiveness, and I know some people are like, no, this person purposely did that. Why would I forgive someone? These people just do not understand the spirit. They do not understand the depth of what's actually going on here on the planet. They're living in the 1% of the material plane, and they're not understanding that there's something so much deeper behind it. They're not in unity consciousness. They don't understand the harmonics really of the universe. They just don't understand the universal laws. So they don't want to forgive, and that is okay. They're allowed not to forgive. We all have free will. We can all have free will. But if you're sitting here and you're angry and you're resentful at someone, you are playing that chord in your body. It's going out, and you are getting more things returned to you that you can be angry and resentful about. You are actually creating your tomorrows by not healing your yesterdays. And so when we can begin to spread loving consciousness, which, let's do this for a minute here right now. I practice this daily. When I'm going out, I imagine myself as this light that is literally just sending loving consciousness to every single person that I encounter. And when I encounter these people, I will sometimes get information about them, but often I am just seeing them, and this comes from spirit, in their absolute best light. If someone was, suffering financially in some way, I envision them and I see it and I hold so dear with this beautiful, loving consciousness, this uplifted confidence that, of course, they're going to be provided for. They're going to have so many blessings rain down on them. And because I see it and because I feel it and because I know it, I know that that's the results for them. Because I'm expecting it, and I know that we get exactly what it is that we believe we're going to get. This is why when I would be working with people or we're doing actual physical healings, I have no doubt. Because doubt is the thing that destroys and creates all the terrible things that are in this world. It stops all the blessings that are meant to come to you. And so when we can sit in this beautiful energy of sending blessings out and sending love to others, we are playing that chord, we are playing that frequency, and it is that we send out that's going to heal the world, and it is that the world consciousness then becomes. So I wrote a book called The Way to Peace. You could get it on Amazon. I think it's only like $3. And in there, this was a channeled message that I wrote in 2018 as I was instructed by the divine very clearly, hey, you need to write this book. I'm going to dictate to you exactly what you need to write, and I want you to write this. And so I would go and I would sit and I would maybe get a page, and then I'd be exhausted and done, and I would stop writing. And anyways, assembled this entire book, and in there it is talking about consciousness, and it says that we have a choice, right? As humans, we have a choice. You can either lower your consciousness, higher your consciousness, match someone else's frequency. You can do whatever you want, right? Somebody comes in your house, they're in a bad mood. You got a choice, right? To be in a bad mood or not. Sometimes it doesn't feel like a choice. If somebody's energy field is really powerful, you might have been having a great day. They come in a bad mood. All of a sudden you're in a bad mood. Or vice versa. Maybe they come in a bad mood. You refuse to let yourself be in that. And within a couple minutes, they're feeling a whole lot better because they have chose to absorb your consciousness. Now, the world consciousness does not work this way. The world consciousness goes with the collective. It is the 100th monkey. It is whatever the spiritual frequency is that is the master, that is the biggest, that is the most, that wins. And so think about the consciousness that we have currently had on this earth. And people talk and they say, oh, we're suffering, oh, or this, or that. And you know what? It is individuals that are having these experiences, and it's all because of personal things that they got going on in their life. But I want you to think about the world and what's occurring right now, and all these things that actually in the world, physically, are occurring in the world. Yeah. Think of the consciousness. It is the earth acting out. It is the earth responding to the frequency that we're sending it. Think about the news. We all know this too. It's so terrible. What a bad thing. All these bad things are happening. And then there's billions of people watching the news, or millions at least. And they're like, oh, this bad thing. Oh, we better believe because somebody told us this on the screen that we're watching. And then they invest their consciousness in it, and look how the world responds. It doesn't have a choice. It goes with the collective. And so what we need to do is raise the collective, and we are going to be afforded that opportunity to do that, but it might not look how we want it to. It might look somewhat devastating, but hold the light, hold the frequency. When this is coming through, when these perceivably negative things begin happening, as they already are. Be thankful because at one point you wanted this to come out. It has now come out. Be thankful because now people are going to wake up and there's going to be a change that occurs on the planet. Be thankful because everything that was hidden is now going to come to the light. And once we actually have the facts, once we actually have the truth here on this planet, we then have a choice. And we can see these patterns. What we wanted, we now have. It has now come out. And so what we want now, which is heaven on earth, which is creating peace, which is sending loving consciousness to all, including the earth, so that it gives us and responds back to us in the same way. Create on earth as it is in heaven. On earth as it is in heaven. This is what we are doing. You and me, us as a collective. This is what we're doing. And so send out that loving consciousness. And I know it's hard. And you almost have to have this mystical experience to understand, like, oh, there's actually nothing to forgive. Oh, this is actually occurring exactly as it's supposed to be. Oh, all of this is a blessing, even though it doesn't appear that way. So if you're not there yet, but you know you want to be, meditate. Spend time with the divine. Sit there, and you might just not. You might not even know where to begin. Sit there and close your eyes and just pray a prayer when you start. Just say, Divine, I want you to talk to me. I want you to give me some insight. And what I'd really love for you to do is to illuminate any low frequency chords that I've been playing within me, and help me to remove them. And then do it again tomorrow, and do it again the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. And pretty soon you're not going to have those negative chords anymore. Keep in mind, you can use my Mental Cleanse series playlist to help you with this. It's all subconscious healing that actually is going to heal these issues that is listed in the titles. And as we do this, we are elevating. We are elevating because when you send out hate, and when you send out fear, and when you send out war, and when you send out negative consciousness frequencies like this, you get more of them. They go out, they return. And so if you don't want that to return to you, then you have to just send the love. You have to send loving consciousness like Christ and like Muhammad. Why do you think people were healed in their presence? Because they were only sending loving consciousness. Because they were emitting, transmitting, emanating the truth from their being. And when people got into their energy field, they had no choice but to remember. And so this is what's coming online now, right? We are stepping into the remembrance. And most of us, you guys, we've already remembered. And so now it's time to just hold the frequency and to emanate that remembrance to others so that they can follow suit. And it's already done. It's already done, guys. It's already done. It's honestly laughable that anyone would stress or anything around this, because there's no reason for it, because the results are there. It's already done. We're already at the end. It's already complete, and we've won. We've hired the consciousness on this planet. So hold that frequency, hold that knowing that it's already done. It was meant to be this way. You are important in this process, and everyone that you meet is important in this process, because we're like waves, right? It's like you go next to this person, they light up. You go then they go to this person, they light up. Then they go to this person, they light up. It is a wave. And as we create this beautiful healing here within humanity, the earth will also respond, and the earth will begin healing. She's been waiting for this. So I love you guys so much. I'm sending you peace and happiness and joy in your life. Thank you guys for tuning in. You guys are just amazing and wonderful, and I love you all so much, and I will see you guys in the next one. Check out the childhood wound quiz down below, because this is going to create deep healing within yourself. Deep healing within yourself, so that the chords and the frequencies that you are playing is actually something that you want returned back to you. All right, I love you guys, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.